Good morning. How are you doing? This is Chris Gweth again, and I'm so glad to again come and just do this video today and share with us what we've been discussing about. We've been talking about the youth, relationships, fatherhood, and parenting. And so today we are going to tackle one of the key issues that I've found in my facilitation of both youth programs and also parental programs. There's a question that parents often ask, and it is how do I relate with my teenage children? And particularly fathers asking for their sons. How do they relate with their sons? And we have realized that this question also is asked by the youth or the adolescents. They ask, how do I relate with my parents? Because there's usually a very big disconnect. And so today we're just going to discuss three key things that are important for us, especially for fathers, and mothers for that matter, as we relate with our teenage children. And the first one is we often, as parents, attempt to lead or to control or to guide without, first of all, establishing a relationship. And that becomes a very difficult thing to do. Because at this age where teenagers are now teenagers, they are at a point where they're trying to carve out their own identity, their sense of self, who they are. So they become very resistant to anything that they think is trying to redirect them to what they are trying to figure out for themselves. So it's important that as parents, in as much as earlier on in the years it was your word and no one questioned it, that at this point relationship becomes important because you can only influence, you can't really control. And then the second thing is that we often talk. When I talk to youth about these issues, they usually ask me one question. Adults say, or parents say, we are not talking to them, we are not engaging them on the issues we are experiencing, they're just seeing us. But when we talk, do they listen? That is usually the question. And I realize that a lot of times, for sure, parents don't listen. They keep talking and talking. Sometimes even getting the feedback is never really a priority. And so the second thing that we must do as parents, especially as we walk and try to lead and parent our teenage children, is to learn to listen and to learn to get feedback, from what they are saying and what they are doing. And then number three is that we have to learn to lead through influence, not really to boss around. Remember, we are also parenting at a time where there's so much available out there. There are so much sources of influence, there's so much sources of information, there is so much that these people are exposed to, and that really becomes an impediment if you want to boss, for that matter. But also it's a good thing because now it teaches us to be more focused on leading than on bossing around. So these days you cannot just say, you go and do this because I say so. That will not work. But if you're able to, in terms of knowledge and information, be ahead of your child, then you can get them and say, go do this. And then when they ask why, you don't say because I said so. You say because of this and this and this. That's what leadership